Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 15th January today, and in this video we are going to solve some important questions which are very much relevant for your preparation. Before we'll start solving these questions, I would like to mention one thing here. As you would have seen yourself today that there was no Hindu newspaper available, and for that we had tried our best to collect the data from the website itself, and we had found some important articles which were in there, and we will discuss them only here. That is little update which I wanted to share with you guys, as there is no Hindu newspaper available today. And with this, I would like to give the brief introduction about our initiative which we do here every day, so that if you are new to our channel, you will get more connected with it. you know I will try to be very much straightforward here in this video. On this platform, we try to discuss every day, we try to discuss various types of questions, and if we will break these questions, it would come under different sets or different parts. Basically our discussion revolves around these three important topics, or we can say these three important parts. First of all, the questions which we will discuss here, which we usually discuss here, are taken from the current affairs. After that, we take up the static topics, questions based on static topics, and finally we take up some previous year questions every day, so that it will give the idea how the questions are asked in the exam. Why we discuss current affairs topics here? So that it will give the idea how the questions can be formed from these current affairs topics, what part of the news article is important for you, and what should be your approach while you are reading those newspapers. Second, why we discuss static topics? So that we will give the idea, we will take up every topic in a very discrete manner, we will discuss them, and we will try to find out how the questions can be formed from those particular articles, how UPSC will try to try to play with the words while framing such questions with respect to static topics. We'll try to learn that through this video. And finally, we discuss previous year questions. We will try to understand what is the vocabulary used by the UPSC, and how we can get, how it is important for us to get this information, how we can learn from this initiative, how we can solve the questions if we don't have the proper knowledge, and how we can take this information in our upcoming exams. So this is in a nutshell what we are going to do in this video. Now, before we'll start solving these questions, I would like to request you guys, which every day I request you, that please do one thing for your sake. Start writing down these questions, start recording these questions or taking note of these questions. This is going to be a game changer for you. When your exams would be near, you would want to revise everything, but time would not permit you, because you have to go through the static part, you have to go through CSAT, you will have to go through previous year questions, you will have to go through current affairs. At that time does not permit you. So what will you do? If you have these questions with you, you would just repeat them, you would just revise them. These questions would definitely connect you with the current affairs, it will connect you with the static topic, it will connect you with the previous year question analysis, and it is going to boost your confidence. And also, who knows, as I always say, it is the same source which the UPSC is going to ask. So there are chances that many questions can coincide. If not the questions, at least the statements. Suppose if not the statements either, but trust me, these would be the concepts where from they will frame the questions. And for you to be on the safer side, I would request you guys to note down these questions and revise them when your exams are near. So with this, I would like to request you one last thing, and that is please do subscribe the channel and share it with your friends, so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And please do like the videos if you like them, if they are helpful for you. When you subscribe, when you like, when you share, it boosts the channel, it helps the channel to grow, and also it can help others in the same cause it is helping you. And also it will help us, it will boost our confidence. So with this, let's have a look at the first question, and let's try to solve them. Here the first question, it is about the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD. You may ask me, sir, why we had brought this question. Even though today newspaper was not there, but if you will check the website of the Hindu, there was the discussion about the 105th anniversary of the IMD. It is being celebrated, and you know what? The PM addressed a few things in that. What the PM addressed, that is very much important for us. The PM Narendra Modi, he addressed that he addressed that India, we should India needs to develop earthquake warning system. We need to develop earthquake warning system like we had developed other warning systems. In this regard, we need to develop this earthquake warning system, so that we can mitigate, we can, prevent the damages which are very huge when the earthquake comes. Why it is revolving right now, because we had seen the Himalayan belt in our country. The Himalayan belt, it is very much prone to earthquakes, and we had seen the recent earthquakes in Japan and China, how they had impacted India. So we need a proper warning system with respect that. At least we need to know which waves cause these earthquakes, whether it would be P wave, S wave, or whatever. So we need to understand about them, so that we can mitigate easily, we can prevent the damage to the highest level. So with respect to that, the PM Narendra Modi, he addressed the 1/5 year anniversary of the IMD, and he discussed in it that there is a need to develop earthquake warning system. So this is in nutshell the background of this news, the background of this question which we had brought today here. So with this, let's try to solve the question here and get more idea about Indian Meteorological Department. As I said, there was no news article today. So if there would be any article with respect that, we will take it in detail. But here right now, till now, let's try to understand about IMD, and you had got the basic context of this question. So here the question says the Indian Meteorological Department, it plays a crucial role in disaster management, 100% correct, in India. In this context, which of the following activities are undertaken by the IMD? So here we have to understand what are the activities undertaken by IMD with respect to this question. First, issuing cyclone warnings and alert based on weather patterns, 100% correct. With this respect, with respect to cyclone warnings and weather patterns, we had recently discussed about the mission Mosam, and this mission Mosam, it was also discussed by Narendra Modi in this address, that we need same kind of vigor as we have done in Mission Mosam, which is with respect to the weather patterns and cyclone warning. With respect to that, we had discussed that. We had discussed under which ministry it comes. It comes under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. We know that. So first statement with respect to this question, it is 100% correct. Second, monitoring air quality and providing forecast for pollution levels, 100% correct. This is one of the function of the IMD. Third, conducting seismological studies to predict earthquakes. Yet we had not achieved it. Yet it is not the function of IMD, but the Narendra Modi, as he addressed this, he addressed it that we need to develop earthquake warning system, yet we don't have this. So with respect to this question, the third statement is incorrect. Fourth statement, providing agro-meteorological advisories to farmers, 100% correct. So with respect to this question, what are the correct statements? Statement 1, statement 2, and statement 4 are the correct statements with respect to this question. So why we are discussing this question? Because it was 105th anniversary of this IMD, so it becomes naturally important for you to know more about the meteorological department. It comes under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, you should know, and it was established in 1875. So I hope this much information is enough about the IMD. And why we had discussed it, because of the PM's address with respect to develop the earthquake warning system. So with this, I hope you had understood the question and also the context of this question. Now with this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here, the another article, it was about the Ganga Sagar Mela, as there is controversy over it, as it is being celebrated in the West Bengal. It is very much, it is considered the second largest congregation of pilgrims after the Kumbh Mela. It is one of the top most we can say top most congregation of Hindu religion. So it is one of the most important Mela celebrated there. But there is a controversy. What is that? The West Bengal government feels that how much the central government invested in the Kumbh Mela when which is being celebrated in UP, how much they invested in that. The central government has not that much invested in this in the management of the Ganga Sagar Mela, as there has been you know, huge issues regarding to the administration of this Ganga Sagar Mela. So with this here, it becomes important for us to understand about Ganga Sagar Mela. About this, we should know that it happens. It is being celebrated at the Sagar Island in West Bengal, celebrated at Sagar Island in West Bengal. It is, this island is formed by the Ganga River and the Bay of Bengal. In the confluence of Ganga River and Bay of Bengal, you should know that in Bay of Bengal there is an island named the Sagar Island where it is celebrated. So it is believed that you can take the bath there and you can, your sins will be wiped out. So this is little concept about Sagar Ganga Sagar Mela. And it is held annually on Makar Sankranti, 100% correct. It is held annually on Makar Sankranti, 100% correct. So let's try to solve this question now and get more idea about it. First, with reference to the Ganga Sagar Mela, consider the following statement. First statement, it is held annually on Makar Sankranti, 100% correct. It is considered the second largest congregation of pilgrims after the Kumbh Mela, 100% correct. The West Bengal government plays a significant role in managing the logistics and security of the Mela, 100% correct. It is celebrated, or it happens on the Sagar Island in West Bengal, a place in West Bengal. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 3, which means the option D is the correct option. All the three statements with respect to this question are correct. Why we discussed this? Because there is a controversy related to that. The West Bengal government believes that the center has not invested that much into Ganga Sagar Mela as they invested in the Kumbh Mela. So this is the controversy. So with this, I hope you had understood the question here, and let's move to the another question and see what was in the news today. Here it is regarding the borders of Spain, which basically the question revolves around the Spain. Let us see why we had brought this question. Because we had brought this question because External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, he meets the Spanish president. The External Affairs Minister, External Affairs Minister, he meets Spanish president. So whenever such meetings happen, it naturally becomes important for for the UPSC aspirant to understand about the country with which we have this relationship, how this relationship has been, what is the net trade between the two countries, and to understand the geography of the country. Usually the questions based on geography, based on the borders, would come in the exam. So with respect to Spain, we should know that India is sixth largest partner. About Spain, we should know that in European Union, Spain is the sixth largest partner of India. Spain is the sixth largest partner of India. We should know that. Second thing, the trade between the two countries, the India and the Spain, is near 9 billion, almost near 9 billion. The trade is near 9 billion, not complete 9 billion, but near 9 billion. And the export, we enjoy the surplus in exports, as our exports are more, which is approximately 6.3 billion. Our exports are approximately 6.3 billion, and the imports we get from Spain, they are approximately 1.92 billion. So this is the little info about the trade relation between the Spain and India, as Spain is the sixth largest nation in the European Union, sixth largest trade with which we have the trade in the European Union. So I believe this much information is important. And what are the things which as we enjoy the export surplus here, let's know what are the things which we mostly export. We export fuel, chemical products, iron and steel products. So we have very much good export in the manufacturing sector. So with this, let's try to understand the geography of the Spain, some important points with respect to that. Here the question says, regarding the borders of Spain, which of the following statements are correct? First statement, the Pyrenees Mountains form a natural border between Spain and France, 100% correct, nothing wrong with this statement. Second, Andorra is a microstate located entirely with the Pyrenees Mountains between Spain and France, 100% correct, nothing wrong with this statement either. Then the third statement, Gibraltar, a British overseas territory, shares a land border with Spain, 100% correct. So with respect to this question, all the three statements are correct. And one more thing, one more important fact about Spain, it is Ceuta and Melilla, Spanish autonomous cities in North Africa, they border Morocco. So you should know all about these important points, which are very much important and tricky with respect to Spain. So it is the Pyrenees Mountains. They form a natural border between Spain and France. Also, Andorra, it is a microstate located entirely within the Pyrenees Mountains between Spain and France. And also, the British Overseas Territory shares a land border with Spain, which is Gibraltar. And about Ceuta and Melilla Spanish autonomous cities in North Africa. So with this, I hope you had understood the question and also the why we had discussed this question, also the context of this question. So these were few important articles which I found on the website, which I believe that it was important for us to discuss them in today's session. There may be in tomorrow's newspaper, there may be detailed articles with respect to that we will see tomorrow if there is any. So with this, we complete the questions with respect to the current affairs. Now let us shift to our second important part of our discussion, where we will discuss the static topic. As you know, right now we are discussing the Indian president. So let's see what we had brought. The question which we had brought today. As we discussed the Indian president, how how our democracy is different from, as we had borrowed the same democracy from the British Westminster democracy, but how it is different from British, as the ceremony in our country the ceremonial head is president, and in the British it is the monarch. What is the difference between the two? Monarch is hereditary, and our president, it is elected. Now about the elections, today we have to discuss about the election of the president, how it is done. With respect to that, we have to understand the article 54. Let us see what does the article 54 say here. The article 54 of the Indian constitution says the president shall be elected by the members of an electoral college. The article 54 says, here, let us understand that the president shall be elected by an electoral college. So this election, the election of the president is very much it is very much different, very much indirect in a nature. It is not the office of the president. The president is not directly elected by the people. So here you can raise a question, sir, what was the reason that we are not electing him directly? So this question was also raised when the constitution was framed, and this question was also discussed. Why not we have the office of the president who will be directly elected? So there would be the conflict of interests then. For example, if the president is elected directly, so he will naturally believe that he is the popular choice of the people, and there would be the conflict between, if the president is elected directly, there would be the conflict between the president and the elected government. If the president did not belong to the same party, if the elected government belongs to one party and president belongs to the other party, there would be the conflict of the interest. President will believe he enjoys the superior power and nothing will work in a proper way. And also as he is the ceremonial head, we did not want to give that advantage to the president, that if he will enjoy this power, if he is elected by the common people, then he will himself believe that he is the supreme. So that is what the framers of the constitution believed, that he should be elected indirectly. So here a question can be raised. You can be asked a question: does the constitution provide us the electoral college for the president? Constitution talks about the electoral college, but it does not provide us what are the members of the electoral college, and that is defined by different laws and different acts. So what are the members of the electoral college? Let's try to understand that. First, the members of the electoral college. Members of the electoral college, they are the elected members of the both houses of the parliament. Please remember these facts very neatly, because in our I guess in 2023 or 23 paper, there was question about the election of president or vice president. So these points are the catch. Here they try to counter you, here they try to fail you. So if you have the clear idea about this, then they cannot do anything with you. So first thing about the president of India, about the electoral college of the president of India. Who are the members? The elected members of the both houses of the parliament, both houses of the parliament, whether they be Raj Sabha or Lok Sabha. For the both houses of the parliament, who are the elected members? They would be the members, they would belong to the electoral college. Second, it would be the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state. Again, the elected members of the legislature of the states, and also to the elected members of the legislatures. If any UT has the legislature, then the elected members of that particular UT. So who are the members? They are the elected members of the both houses of the parliament, elected members of the legislatures of the state. If UTs have the legislative assemblies, then the elected members of that particular UT. Now here we are left with few things. Here we are left with the nominated members, and we are left with the elected members of the legislative council. What is legislative council? Some states have two houses, or legislative assembly or legislative council. So we are left with the nominated members of the both houses of the parliament, or the nominated members of the legislative assemblies, or the elected members of the legislative council. So these two does not belong to the electoral college. So I hope you are very much clear about who are the members who belong to the electoral college of the president. So with this, article 54, it deals with the electoral college, and article 55, it deals with the legislative assemblies of the UTs, to be added into electoral college. So with this, let's try to solve this question and get more idea about it. Here the question says, which of the following statements are correct regarding the electoral college of the election of the president of India as per article 54? First, nominated members of the both houses of the parliament are part of the electoral college. No, we discussed that. Second, elected members of the legislative assemblies of union territories with the legislatures are included in the electoral college. 100% correct, article 55. Then the third, elected members of the legislative councils of states are part of the electoral college. So here it is talking about the legislative councils. That is what you have to, sometimes you have the knowledge, but unfortunately you don't see the question clearly. So this, it talks about the legislative council, and we saw that the elected members of that legislative council are not part of the electoral college. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is statement 2 only, that is option B. So with this, we understood about article 54, 55. What does it talk about? It talks about the electoral college, that will elect the president. Then in the upcoming class, in tomorrow's class, we will discuss about how the voting will happen, what is single transferable vote, how that happens, that we will discuss in the next class. So for today's discussion, I think this much is enough about the electoral college, who are the members. So I hope you would remember that. With this, let's move to the last part of our discussion, where we will solve the last question from the previous year question book. Here the question is with respect, consider the following statements. It is with respect to the correct sequence in decreasing order of albedo values of these ecosystems. So here we have to find out which of the following ecosystem have the highest albedo and which has the lowest albedo. So with respect to this question, let us see this first statements. It is taiga, it is tropical evergreen forest, it is tropical deciduous forest, it is tundra. So in nutshell, if you want to understand what this albedo is, it is how much light is reflected back. If you have to understand it in nutshell, in the simplest layman's language, which of the following ecosystems reflects the most light back? How you can connect it? For example, snow, it has the highest albedo, so that we can assume that it reflects the most light back. So that's why it is white in color. So this is the little physics behind it. Now with this question, let's try to solve this. Which of the following ecosystems has the most maximum albedo value? It is tundra, it comes first, then it is taiga second, then the tropical deciduous forest third, then fourth is tropical evergreen forest. So what would be the correct sequence? It would be 4 1 3 2. 4 1 3 2 is, can you find anything here? Yeah, it is option B. So for this question, the correct option would be option B. So with this, we complete today's discussion. I hope you would like the video. I hope you would share it with your friends, and I definitely hope you would subscribe the channel. And if you need the PDF of this video, please contact us on our email ID. It is very much there in our bio. You can contact us and we'll definitely share it with you guys. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.